It's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and I'm here today with the design team post for Scrapping for Less. Today I'm going to be making this fun pop-out card, or pop-up card, and I'm going to be using collection number 4, Little Lady, from the Scrapping for Less Flavor of the Month card kit. Now this is a super simple one. You're going to start out with a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock for your card base, and you're going to fold it in half. And this is going to kind of make either like a top fold or a long horizontal card, even though it's a regular A2 size card, but it's going to, look a little different than what you may normally do and how it normally opens. So you're going to do it as a top fold. And then you need a piece that's 11 inches by 1 inch. And there's really not a lot of scoring in this. I mean, honestly, you could probably get away with not scoring it. Excuse me. The 1 inch piece you're just going to take and fold it in half, and then take each end and fold it in at the halfway point. So where that first score line, you're going to fold each side to that place, and that's going to make your little W that you're going to put into the center or wherever you want to add it to the card. I added mine a little bit low. Now, I taped this down to start with, and then I realized I didn't have the backing in, so I actually had to pull it up. So make sure you put your background panels in before you tape that down. But that's pretty much it. Then to go along with that, I have 4 circles at about a little over 2 inches. I have the panels. I am using a 1 inch by 5 1/4 inch. I cut out 2 of those, and then I cut 2 3-inch by 5 1/4 to make the whole back panel the 4 inches by 5 1/4. Partially because I didn't have paper that matched to go on both sides, and plus I thought it was kind of cute to kind of make a little background with the green, like the grass, and then the flowers. I just thought it looked cute. So then I adhered that back down there, and that's going to be your pop-up mechanism. Then you're going to adhere the circles down. Now I'm going to adhere the panels that I created for them. So I used the next size down. I just used a stitch circle die to make those circles, and I used the next smallest one down. 2 of them I used white, just plain white cardstock, because I was just going to stamp the sentiment and stamp one of the images on there. And 2 of them I used the background paper with the leaves. Then I am going to kind of get together the front. Now I used a back panel that was 4 inches by 5 1/4. And the next 2 panels I used a scalloped stitched rectangle die to create. And one is just about 4 inches and by 2 3/4 inches. And the second piece, the white that I'm going to stamp the image on there, is at about 3 1/4 inches by just a little under 2 inches, so about 2 7/8 inches, and that's, or I'm sorry, 1 7/8 inches, just about 2 inches it is. So those are the panels that I use on the front. So I'm going to stamp the image of the ladybug onto that panel, and then here I stamped the sentiment and the image I was going to use on those circle panels that I'm going to add to the pop-up. And then I'm going to stamp, like I said, the ladybug, and I'm going to color it with some Copic markers, which I will show you here. Those are the colors that I used. Real quick, simple coloring. It's not real fancy. And since I wasn't cutting this out, I was trying to be super careful when I was coloring, so that it didn't bleed out and stuff. The last couple of videos I've used a new cardstock that I bought, and I love it for card bases, but I'm not a big fan of using it with Copic markers. Nina's Classic Crest Solar White is definitely the one of the best papers to use with Copic markers. I know there's a few other ones out there too, but that one is definitely, but this is not. But it is a really good, it's a 100-pound cardstock. It's called Accent. I picked it up on Amazon, I believe, and I do like those. And I had a lot of scraps from it, which is why I was picking them up using those scraps. And like I said, I'm not a fan. So making sure you have good cardstock with alcohol markers is definitely important when you're using them. So once I finish up coloring this image, I'm going to just adhere that down, and then I'm pretty much just going to adhere the pieces to the inside of the card. Like I said, this is a super simple pop-up. It's called a W pop-up because it kind of makes that W when you fold up the piece. With collection number 4, Little Lady, you get the Little Lady paper by Scrapping for Less and the Little Lady stamp by Scrapping for Less, which both are adorable. Some enamel dots by Gina Marie Designs, and ephemera by Scrapping for Less, and some red crochet thread, which I did not end up using on this card. But the ephemera by Scrapping for Less is and it all coordinates. The stamp, the paper, the ephemera, they all coordinate together. And I'm actually going to end up using some of the ephemera on here to decorate the inside of the card as well. Now, I used the pattern paper in the back for that very back panel of the front of the card, and then I wanted something smaller so that you could see it. Sometimes I hate when I use a back panel and you only leave like a 1/8 of an inch around, and I used a whole sheet of pattern paper. It kind of bugs me, so I wanted to, like I said, make sure that you're really seeing that. And so I just put some adhesive down on the strip that's on the inside, and I added in those circles, and then I'm just piecing the ephemera that I decided to use in the areas where I wanted it to go. Now, this is perfectly fine to have something that's longer and taller than the circle or whatever you're using. You can use square, whatever you want to use, but whatever you end up using, you'd want to make sure that you go up and not sideways, because if it hangs too far over the side, it won't close properly and then be able to pop out. So going up is okay, or down if you have it on the top end of it, but going side to side, you're going to have some more issues. You got to make sure that it can still close. And then to finish this off, I just use my gel pen to highlight the eyes and the mouth for the ladybug, and then just put a couple little white dots on there for her cheeks. And that will finish up this card. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit subscribe and head over to Scrapping for Less, and you can check out if these kits are still available. Thank you, and have a great day. Everybody stay safe.